Because your doctor is right. Honey, you got this, all right? So that's the last thing you need to be. So that is just a torment you don't need to have, okay? Because you're beautiful. And so what I'm saying to you is just relax. The ones who don't want to work for it, they're going to have to shift. But be honest. He ain't working hard enough. Because they're going to ask the wrong question anyway. While you in a relaxed state, they're gonna tell you, we should get married tomorrow. And because you know what? Marriage is beautiful and you are beautiful. And I know you the woman I've been waiting for the rest of my life. And you'll say, check, please.
If they come with the, really? You just met me, like, seriously? Because if it was reversed, you'd be running out that door so fast. That's how you got to put it. If it was reversed and I was coming to you like that, you'd be running so fast, you jump on the cab. You wouldn't even wait for it to stop.
The roles are changing, and it's really crazy. I met this guy. I went out probably 2 weeks ago. We exchanged numbers, and he called me the first time, and it was just like an instant need to be complimented. I have no problems with complimenting my man. I think that's my job. You know, when we're together, we compliment each other. But if I just meet you and on the first call, you're like, well, tell me something good. What did you like about me? Was I attractive? You know, I was on the phone like, what?
With that face.
Yeah, with the face.
With that face.
They always tell me my face just tell everything. And I'm like, hold on, I just met you. And I said, I don't have a problem. I'm a very uplifting person. I said, but I just met you. Why do I need to already boost your ego on day one?
He's a brother who needs self-gratification, and he has no self-esteem. He needs somebody to boost him up, to make him feel good about himself. He ain't ask you, he ain't say nothing about giving you a compliment. He asking one from you. Like, where's mine? Since you want one, is quit. No, give and take. Do I get a... No, you say, okay. Because he's going to always want some kind of pomp and circumstance from you, but he ain't going to be willing to give it.
The problem is I have some type of magnet. Like I was saying, it's so different because mostly if you don't have a positive self-esteem, or maybe my self-esteem don't think... I don't know. I don't think so because I think I'm pretty awesome. I mean, I don't think that's a bad thing to think that. But I always attract someone that wants me to cheerlead them or right off the yeah.
I think that's just you though. I don't think that's just you. I think that's just the state of where we are is like as far as dating. Like I've definitely met that guy that's like who's probably done something like that. And I'm really good at running game. Like, that's something I'm really, really good at. So, like, and the only reason why I know this because my male BFF told me this, like, just the other day. He was like, your game is, like, impeccable. So, like, if a guy would tell me something along the lines, like, where's my compliment? I'll probably say something like, you ain't did nothing to earn it, so fall back and do something, and then we'll talk about it later. You know, like, I'll probably say something like that, you know, but you're not I just say to say, like, you're not by yourself. Like, I definitely get the characters. I will say I never got the you're too outgoing. What I have got, because I'm very outgoing too, but I get the exact opposite. Because I'm outgoing, I get too many weird, like, it attracts everybody. So it's like because everyone wants, I call myself like, yeah, empath. That's what they call them. So anyway, it's like you have this energy, you have this light, and they have something called energy vampires, and I attract energy vampires. So I attract all of these people, good and bad, that want some of this energy from me, and I have to assess whether, you know, like, are you really liking me, or do you just need this energy, and once you deplete it, you're gone. And I have found myself in situations where I give this energy, and once you just devour all of my energy and I can't give it to you anymore, I'm no good to you. That was the guy that, you know, that you did, the last boyfriend, that was him. So, you know, like when people tell me that, I have gotten to the point where I'm comfortable enough to say, oh, you can't hang. Like, I'm not in your league. Like, I'm too good for you. Like, if you think this is blah, 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 then I am too good for you. So I have gotten comfortable in that. And I will say this, too. I've done something recently that I haven't done before. I've done it before, but not as committed to it as I am right now. I've been celibate. So I've been, like, deliberately celibate to kind of just, for a number of different reasons. I mean, some of it has to do with the dating thing, and some of it has to do with just overall personal, professional development. Like, you know, so I have found that being celibate, as much as, you know, you think it's going to scare everyone away, it's a very great weeding out process. Like, I actually do have people that's like, okay, that's what you're doing. I understand. Like, there's actually men out there that's like, I get it. And it's kind of refreshing. I mean, it is a vow of discipline, more so, you know, on my part is like, and then when I tell them, like, it's not like I'm trying to discipline you, or this is a punishment against you. Like, this is all about me, you know. And I was like, it's easier to date too. I found being celibate, because if I'm celibate and I'm not attached to you that way, then if you're not working out, I can walk away very easy. Like, oh, this ain't working out. Okay, bye. I'm like, you be like, dang, you know, I kind of like him. He was kind of fun, but all right. As opposed to like when you don't have, like when you are engaged, it's like, ooh, you kind of have like this emotional attachment as much as you think you can do it. Like, yeah, you the women, it's because it reacts differently to us. The men, it reacts like a heroin high after, you know, after the sex, and a heroin is just like, oh no, woo. So you're relieving their pain, but for you, it's like a nursing mother. So that's a bond. So now that you are bonded, that's when tires get slashed and all that kind of stuff. But I'm just saying that the level of bond will cloud your judgment, because then you'll try to make stuff work that clearly don't work, because you've invested so much and you're bonded naturally, chemically, physically, all in these different ways. So if you stop, and especially those first, you know what, for the first 6 months, you're on chemicals anyway. It's just a high. That's what's running through you to boost that love thing. So if you never get to the point where you are making choices, conscious choices, and you rushing off to marry somebody, and you on you on the chemical drugs that come through, the seroquin and you know, all of that, that's love chemicals running through your brain. And so when you stop, though, when all that wears off, then you see that person for real. And that's when you make a choice. Can my love cover that? And I say that for single people, that is one of the biggest things questions you will ever have to ask yourself is, and you've got to be honest. We've all been wounded in some way at some point, and usually by the time we're 19 years old. We have had wounds, whether it came from our parents, whether it came from abandonment, whether it came from rejection. Something has happened, or a relationship. Once those wounds happen, we put up defensiveness, some kind of wall, or we walk around with them, and depending on how deep they are, we might carry them for forever. Now, if we don't on purpose try to be healed, when we see those wounds after the cloud, and we see, okay, this person had a very controlling mother, and because of such a controlling mother, they were afraid to tell the truth. So they made a habit out of lying. And so they lie for no reason. I don't even know why they lying. I mean, I might ask them, did you just bring the bread home? And they say, yeah, it must have been, the dog must have taken it back outside or something. Why you do that? Why you need to, and then so you start thinking, well, then if they lie on this, they must be probably got a whole nother family somewhere. Then if the person has had a situation where they are an alcoholic or drug addict parent, what ends up happening, there has been so much, you don't know when things might kick off. They say they came in drunk and they would fight or something. You don't know. You live on anxious, like, what's going to happen? The drug parent, you don't know if you're going to have lights. You don't know if you're going to have heat. It was always survival mode. You didn't know what was going to happen. And a woman's greatest need is security. So what you do, you start trying to control things. You become this controlling woman, like, I don't want anything to ever happen. And so now this man is feeling controlled, like, whoa, what? And we don't know how to shift from
mother to wife, which is two distinct roles. We stay in that mother role because that's how we control. And so they start feeling like a child rather than a spouse. And so all of that control comes a lot of times from substance abuse homes. And so if you have somebody like that, or you're about to marry, you need to look at that and say, this is what this is. Don't hide your head in the sand. Look at that and say, can my love cover that? My father came from a very abusive home where his father was put guns up to his mother's head and all this other kind of stuff. My mother came from a great loving home where she was like prayed for her, and she was the love child of her family. So, and her father would bless everybody and, you know, everything. And so, but my mother's love covered my dad where he was able to be secure again, where he used to be called Blackie and ugly and all that. And I saw how love can cover and love can heal. And then she was insecure because they were really poor. His love, he spoke all the time about how much he loved her and how he was faithful to her and everything. And I saw her, and she spoke all over the country. I saw how love, firsthand, I watched how love can heal. And what I'm saying is, when I say cover, can your love cover that? Because the truth of the matter is, love is not about what you can do for me. Love gives. Love is something you sow into relationships. That's what your job is. When you at that altar, you know what you should be saying? God, how you going to use me to help heal and give love to the wounds of that person? And in return, you get it back. Now, my father was so into two things. You don't touch a woman. My brothers, I have 5 brothers. If they looked like they thought about maybe they was going to hit us, they was in trouble with my dad. He wouldn't even whoop us because he said, I don't ever want them to have a man's hands on them, because he watched his mother get beat. Second thing, faithfulness. He was always say, I'm faithful to your mother, I'm faithful to her. So guess what? My love don't cover serial cheaters. I might, and this is of late, I might have one good cheat and his life would never be as he know it today. But my love don't cover that. My love don't cover you put your hand on me. I live on the 21st floor, right on the lakefront. You'll see my husband on Lakeshore Drive. Because let me tell you something. Let him think about looking like he might be thinking about almost touching me. But he's never done that. That's not our relationship. My love don't cover that. Huh? But my love don't cover that. But you know what it will cover? It covers the fact that his father had to self-medicate because his mother was so verbally abusive and aggressive. I'm able to love him and reassure him, and through the years have helped to heal that part of him. My love can cover that. And through just being kind, like my dad had to deal with, I've been able to do that. Because his father was a totally functional alcoholic and his mother was so emasculating and everything, he came in with different things. But my love was able to cover that. But he also had a heart for the men who were in the alleys, and a sincere love. And his love taught me to love people who can't do anything for you. He's that type who will be sitting there texting a guy and say, you can do it today. And he does. He sits there and encourages the men, love your wives today and this and that. And he's one-on-one. And I learned that's what I learned in the relationship. And so what I'm saying is, when you're looking to see these people, they're going to all come with faults. That's why you can't be super critical. See, everybody working on something. You working on something. And so but just don't go to the something you can't cover. Don't go to the something you can't cover. You're anointed and appointed to administer healing love. You're not just a nurse. And let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you, first of all, when a lot of times when we choose our professions, that is actually a little bit of an indication of what we're going to do. There are men who are hurting that you actually can cover, that you would be sensitive to emotionally, and that your joy would actually be a healing force to them.